Good evening. Can you hear me? Can anyone confirm if they hear me?
Yes, Yawa, I can hear
Uh,
you.
okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. Let me switch on my video quickly and we can get started. I see a few people in the waiting room about to join. So good evening and welcome.
Thank you.
All right. So my name is Yawa Hansen-Quao. I don't know everyone who's on the call, so if you don't know me, my name is Yawa. I see a lot of familiar names here, though, so I'm really excited to welcome you to tonight's conversation. For those of you who signed up for this call, my vision for this conversation is really to tell you a little bit more about the Renew Challenge, to answer any questions you may have, and to also do a bit of a deep dive on the second pillar of the program. I realized that a lot of people were reaching out to me individually to ask questions about the program and to get insight. So I thought it would be smart to just offer this deep dive sessions throughout this week to answer any questions and to give more information about what it is, but also what it isn't, and also to give people the opportunity to ask questions and get to know me as well. So I'll start from the beginning by telling you a little bit about the program and how it came to be. The Renew Challenge is not like any other type of weight loss or wellness group that I've been a part of. You know, the statistics say that every year women usually take between 2 or 3 diets. And I was a perpetual dieter, someone who was always trying to lose weight or trying to improve my physical appearance. But things really shifted for me last year when, after doing a bit of introspection, I realized that if I didn't take the driver's seat of my life, if I didn't become very deliberate about my choices, that I would likely die before my time. And the truth is, so many of us all over the world who are women in leadership have so many gifts, so many talents, so much potential, so much to offer the world, but we are not thriving in wellness. My story is that I had, gained a lot of weight, become very lethargic and slow, and also became sick. I was on medications for 3 chronic health conditions. I was taking medications for diabetes, taking medications for hypertension, and also dealing with high blood cholesterol. So I realized that, although professionally people seemed very impressed by me and all that I was doing, I was still physically unwell. It was so bad that sometimes, even when it became time to be intimate with my husband, I would feel self conscious. Sometimes, when it came to playing with my children, I didn't have the energy to keep up or to, encourage them. So I became that mother who would rather put the kids in front of a TV or on an iPad just to prevent myself from having to move. That's how bad it had gotten. So at my heaviest, I probably weighed about 126 kilos. And by God's grace, throughout this renewed journey, my own personal renewed journey, I've lost about 42 kilos of weight. So I'm healthier now than I've ever been in my adult life, and I no longer am on medications for anything. And this process, came about and was spurred about really through a spiritual reflection. Last December, on the past 2 years, I've been trying to focus on me, my personal development, etc. But last year, God really accelerated things for me. I remember sitting at church and listening to a Bible teaching on the story of Nehemiah, and it was the first time I realized through that story that the Bible tells us how many days it took for Nehemiah to rebuild the broken walls of Israel, the temple. And the Bible says that it took 52 days. And I just was inspired to believe God that if I gave him 52 days, that he could transform my body, which the Bible teaches is his temple. So if God lives with his, if God lives inside our bodies, we need to take care of it. My head knew that, but my heart didn't always respond well. I was chronically a glutton, would overeat, and would nourish my body with wrong things. And I felt really inspired to spend 52 days eating nothing but food that God made. So I went fully raw, and other things that I teach through the program. So the Renew program is really my journey, the journey that I felt God took me on to understand the root of why I was doing some of the things I was doing, and the insight, the tactics, and strategies that really helped me transform my thinking, transform my relationships, bolster my energy, renew my body, and then restore the vitality, the vibrancy, and the vigor that I honestly had lost. And I share this because for a lot of us, we're probably, doing pretty good, right? People are impressed by our professional lives. People are impressed by the accolades we've accomplished. At least that was my case. Maybe you're the first woman in your family to go to college or to be placed in the job or the role that you're in. And so you might be getting outward applause, but internally that there is a ticking time bomb. Those are the women that I'm looking to reach through the Renew program. In the past year, I've buried two friends of mine, and I'm even more energized to really reach people, to stop the self destructive behaviors that can limit our life and our effectiveness, especially as women in leadership. Now, I don't know who all of you are on the call today, but I bet you have an internal sense that God has called you to do something big. And if that's the case, part of the preparation to do the big things that God's called us to do is really getting our mind, our body, our soul in alignment. Now, a lot of us, especially in West Africa, may over index on the spiritual. So we're very religious, we pray, we do things that endear us to the Lord, but some of us don't do the practical. And I think that's why this process for me was different. I had been through other weight loss programs before. I had also taken pills and other things to try and lose weight quickly. I don't know if I have any witnesses on the call. You can tell me in the chat box. Have you ever been on a diet or joined a weight loss group? Have you ever taken a weight loss tea or weight loss tablets, etc.? I'm guilty of all of the above. But this has been all nutrition, mindset change, and tactics that have helped me to renegotiate my relationship with myself. So the RENEW program, RENEW, is an acronym that stands for a few things that are the pillars of the program. So yesterday, for those who joined me on the call, I talked about pillar number one, which is relationship. And one of the key things that I realize is that many of us, the root of why we have bad behaviors is that we have, difficulty in our relationship with ourselves, our relationship with other people, our relationship with food, our relationship with God, etc. And that really is the basis for the program. But the second pillar of the Renew program really looks into energy. Now, a lot of us haven't developed the self awareness to understand what energizes us and what de energizes us. Sometimes we haven't audited our time well enough to see what times of the day we're most energetic. And so we can therefore, when we know that, we can therefore plan our day accordingly. So, through the second pillar of the Renew program, we focus on energy. We encourage every participant. I did this myself with my wellness coach. We do something called an energy audit, which enables every participant to get a sense of their prime time during the day where they are most energized. Then we do an exercise to identify your energy vampires, the things or the people or the situations that drain you, so that you can mitigate or prepare in advance for those types of situations. The other thing that we do as we talk about energy is I introduce some of the strategies and tactics that I coach my clients on to enable them simplify our lives, to enable us to simplify our lives. Because the truth is, some of us are de energized because we're overwhelmed by all of the things on our plate. And I believe, or I've come to understand, that being overwhelmed is never God's best for us. We weren't designed to do it all. And some of us have bought into this notion of having to be a superwoman. And that itself releases us into a new chapter of overwhelm. Our bodies overproduce cortisol, and therefore we're ineffective because we're tired and irritable all the time. So, in pillar number two, we spend 10 days of the 52 days really focused on energy. I give exercises and insights to really help you assess for yourself what are the things that you need to do to build up your energy, to conserve your energy, and to make sure that every time you show up, especially when it matters, you're doing so in a way that brings good energy. A lot of us aren't where we want to be professionally, partly because of the energy, the atmosphere around us. In his book, The Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, Dr. Stephen Covey writes about a concept called carrying your own weather. That each of us has the opportunity, wherever we are, to carry our own weather. We don't have to let what's happening outside of us affect us. We carry our own environment. And that's really why the second pillar of this program is focused on energy. The other thing about this pillar is we look at the link between nutrition and energy, so that we start in the build up to pillar number three, which is nutrition. We start to look at the linkages between what we eat and how energized we feel, so that on the days or in the seasons where you need to be operating at your peak, you are armed with the information of how to change your diet, right? So, for example, today was a big day in Ghana. Today was the inauguration of our new president and our new vice president, and I was involved in some aspects of that. In fact, I'm at a dinner event right now. I'm on the sidelines of a dinner event. Um, and I realized that if I was going to be effective tonight, I needed to do certain things this morning to make sure that I'd have the energy, right? So it informed what I ate, it informed how I rested, and it also informed how I hydrated. So there are different things that I learned along my journey that I want to teach. through this Renew program on energy so that each of us, especially those of us who are occupying high office, can always show up as our best selves. So I hope that gives you an overview of our second pillar of the program. I really want this to be interactive. You can ask me questions, and I'd love to interact with as many of you as possible. I also see that there are a few participants from the past Renew program that are on the call. So if any of you would like to share your experiences, especially as it pertains to energy for the benefit of those who were not part of us, I also welcome you. I see a few familiar names like Cynthia Tay, Mautor Akom. Um, so if any of you would like to share your experiences or what you learned about energy through the program and how it's benefited you since you joined, you can use the raise hand function and I'd be happy to call upon you. Um, all right, so I'm checking to see if I have any volunteers to speak. All right, no pressure at all. And if you do have a question, maybe you heard about the program and you're wondering about cost, you're wondering about time commitment, let me give you a few of those logistical details as well. The program will commence on January 20th. And it runs for 52 days, which means we will end on, I believe, March 13th, if my math is correct. The cost of the program is the equivalent of $100. So if you're in Ghana, that's 1,500 Ghana cities. The time requirement, we have live sessions twice a week, and each of those live coaching sessions is 90 minutes long. We have a committed private WhatsApp group where daily there will be information and instructions on what we're focused on. The program is structured in such a way that the first 10 days we focus on relationships, the second 10 days we focus on energy, the third 10 days will be focused on nutrition, the fourth 10 days will be focused on exercise, and the last 10 days will be focused on work. So the first day is an intro day, the last day is a graduation day. So that's what makes up the 52 days of the Renew Challenge. Throughout that process, you'll be coached. So you'll see a lot of me, and I'll have some guest speakers as well, taking you through some of the content of the program. You will have access to the community of others who are part of the program. Each person will be paired with a buddy. So you go through the program with someone who is also, really focused on restoring their vitality, their vigor, and their vibrancy. I will be a coach and a friend to all. You can ask questions in the group. We post information about what we're eating, what we're drinking. We ask everybody meets specific minimum requirements. And then we encourage you to stay motivated, to stay on track. The thing is, I have seen through this program that it is possible to go far and it is possible to go fast as well. So you can go far and can go fast if you are able to be committed, right? The live coaching sessions are on Tuesdays and on Fridays in the evening. I'm based in Ghana. We've had women from all over the world do the program. And if you miss the live session, we share the recording. So no matter where you are in the world, you can see and you can watch. In fact, people who completed the last 52 days challenge that ended in November are still watching the videos because look, everyone who's attracted to this, and often those who need this the most are the most busy. And so we continue to give them 90 days of access to the videos, even after the challenge is over, so they can go back and take notes and relive it. So if you ever miss a live session, don't worry, because we have recordings of all of those videos and we share them. We do ask everyone to commit to discretion and confidentiality. We have so many influential leaders who joined the challenge, and we don't want people's business out there. In fact, I consider myself one of those influential leaders. We'll be working out together. You'll see me in my sweaty workout clothes, jumping up and down. We want you to honor everyone who's in the group by not sharing any of the materials that we provide, any of the content that's discussed within the group. It's considered for your personal use. And as you can imagine, some people might have a bit of anxiety about being part of a group like this with people that they don't know. I know because sometimes I have anxiety about that. I'm on a call tonight with many of you who I do not know, and I've got my video on, you're seeing my face, and I can't see any of you. So, similarly, we want everyone to be mindful that there is an expectation that everyone who joins the challenge will honor the commitment to confidentiality and discretion. What is shared in the group stays in the group. Because, look, this isn't just about wellness, this is holistic life change. And through this coaching journey, so many things come up for us. So many members of the group share intimate details of their lives, and then they're able to get breakthroughs in a safe, supportive environment. So I am committed to creating a safe and productive environment. All right, so please note that if you're not the kind who can keep a secret, this is not for you. I'm also someone who is sold out in her faith in Christ, so I will often pray for people and quote scripture and invite people into considering inviting God into this journey. If you're not a Christian or if you have problems with that, then maybe this is not your type of experience as well. I tend to open up and be quite vulnerable about what's happening in my life, my challenges, my difficulties. So, for example, in the most recent challenge, um, in both challenges as well. The first 52 challenge was in June last year. And the day we started the challenge, I lost a near and dear family member. And I told members of the group that I'm dealing with this. I want to be real with you that life happens to us all. And in spite of what happens in life, um, we're still responsible for the care of ourselves. And I think it's been instructive for me to go through storms of my life through this challenge and share that this is what I'm struggling with. For example, those who were in the November challenge, I shared with them that I realized that I started backsliding and I'm snacking again. And I'm eating healthy food, but I notice I'm eating more and I'm snacking more than I used to. And I think by sharing the challenges as well as the progress, we grow together. So I want to attract women who are ready to share, ready to be vulnerable, ready to commit to a journey of transformation, and ready to hold hands because we want everyone to be accountable to other people. So you will be paired with someone else in the community to be an accountability partner with. It may be the case that you'll be paired with someone who's in your country or outside of your country. We try to make sure that people are not paired with people they know simply because it's easy to ignore someone but you might feel a little more deferential to someone you don't know. So accountability is a big piece of this experience as well. Um, I really, really want to encourage you. If you've tried and tried and failed, try the Renew program. I've had really great outcomes. There have been members of this group that have reversed chronic diseases like I did. I'm currently diabetes free, free of hypertension, free of the high cholesterol. I'm at in fact, my healthiest adult weight, and I feel good, and I am constantly told how good I look. And I want you to know that this isn't just about looking good. It's not just about looking good. It's about how do you regain the energy and the commitment to your goals and to recommit yourself to the purpose that God's assigned you for in this world. So I hope that helps give you a bit more practical insight into how the program is structured. So again, we start January 20th and we will run till March 13th. It's 52 days broken down into these 5 pillars. We'll have minimum requirements for daily movement, daily hydration, and we encourage everyone to post daily in the group just to keep yourself accountable. And I will be your chief cheerleader and coach and guide through the process. I see a question in the chat box. Someone is asking, for those returning to the program, is it because they didn't reach their goal or is it a different reason? Follow-up question is, after the challenge, what happens? So great questions. We've got a few people who've done the challenge a few times. Would anyone care to share why you did it twice? They tell me that they did it again just to keep themselves accountable, and that they learn, and that they want to make this more of a lifestyle instead of a thing that they once did. So I know that that's part of my motivation for continuing to offer the 52-day challenge, so that I can continue to discipline myself with the habits that helped bring the transformation, right? So I am determined to make the rest of my life the best of my life. And for those who return to the program, they also have indicated same, that they feel really drawn to continuing the coaching journey. Um, Many women who've gone through this program have gone on to coach with me one on one. So there's someone who signed up yesterday last from our most recent challenge. So I'm now working with her one on one as her coach. Some people decide to join my Elevate coaching and mentoring circle. I have a group coaching program as well. Um, but for me, if you're introduced to this and you can make it a way of life to discipline yourself, build your self awareness about your relationships, your energy, your nutrition, your exercise, and your work, I think it really can be a turning point, pivotal type of experience. So, those are the reasons that many of my repeat customers have said drew them to come back. To your question about what happens after the challenge, it's really up to you. Will you make this a lifestyle? Will you want to continue a coaching journey with me or with someone else? And like I said, for me, a big reason why I keep doing it is to keep myself accountable and to make sure that the changes that I've made, the transformations that it's brought about, continue to thrive and show up in my life. And the more I teach, the more deeply I understand. I don't know if you've heard that quote, that when you teach, you truly deepen your own personal understanding. So the more I do this and lead other women through it, the more enriched I feel and the more the principles are becoming more real to me. I feel as though when I do it, I also begin to embody even more strongly these principles, right? And I love how I look, I love how I feel, and I never want to lose this. So that's really the reason why I keep doing the Renew program for myself and inviting others to join me on the journey. Thank you for the question, and I hope it's well answered. If there are any other questions, you can use the chat box. If you would like to, um, if you'd like to share verbally, you can use the raise hand function. I do see a few of my Renew challengers on the call. If any of you would like to share your personal experiences for the benefit of others on the call, please use the raise hand function, and I'd love for them to hear from you. All right. Someone is asking, will I share a recording? Do you mean a recording of today's session? If so, yes, I'm recording it, and yes, I can share via email if you need it. During the Renew Challenge, we do record all of our live sessions for the benefit of those who do not or are unable to attend it live. And so I'm happy to share that as well. I know some people may have connectivity issues tonight or timing issues, so I'd be happy to share a recording if it would be helpful. All right. Any questions?
Hi, yeah, I have my hand up.
Oh, please go ahead.
Selassie here. I was just wondering whether we would be dieting right from the get-go, or um, that process only begins during the nutrition week.
Great question. So
Yeah.
typically, I introduce the Renew Challenge with a kickoff event, and I give you all of the guidance at the beginning. So the guidance, we ask that daily you do three things. You commit to a certain type of nutrition, you commit to certain amounts of hydration, and you commit to a certain minute number of minutes of movement every day. So throughout it, we are encouraging it, but we do deep dive on nutrition in the third 10-day block. So I give guidance at the beginning, encouraging people to reduce or eliminate certain things from their diet throughout the challenge. So yes, in that sense, nutrition goes through the entire 52 days. But we start with a deep dive on relationship because it was my personal experience that it's hard to actually receive the nutritional guidance and stick to it until I dealt with the deep rooted relational things going on. For example, what is it in me that was making me feel like I needed to eat to the point of bursting every day? What is it in me? What was triggering these behaviors? That it wasn't really about the food, it was about my relationship with self or my disappointments and food needing to be a comfort to me instead of a nourishment to energize me to do work. So I the structure really is a logical progression that if you can dig deep first to the roots, it makes the nutrition deep dive even more meaningful because you've already done the mental work. You've understood the psychological roots of why you do what you do, so that when we do the deep dive on nutrition, you can receive it and more likely act on it. And we do it third because if we look at energy as well, it's also half of the battle won. So that once you've done your energy audit and you've understood the importance of some of the practices, your ability to bolster your energy through the nutritional guidance that's given is more likely to happen. So that's why the structure exists in the way that it does. And I hope that answers your question.
It does. Thank you so much.
Thank you as well. All right. All right. Oh, thank you, Daniela, for your kind words. For those of you who can look into the chat box, one of our previous participants has put a glowing endorsement about why she joined and what she took out of it. She says she joined and committed, and her highlight was the nutrition and exercise. It's actually now a lifestyle. Thank you so much for sharing, Daniela. It's so good to have you here with us tonight, sharing your experiences. And if any other participant wants to share, please use the chat box or use the raise hand function. I'd be happy to invite you to share directly. I always think it's great when people can hear from the beneficiaries instead of the organizer. And like I said, I was sharing with someone tonight. I'm at a dinner event tonight with someone who did my first challenge in June. Oh, sorry, she was part of my most recent challenge that ended in November. And she said, "Yeah, well, you don't recognize me, do you?" I said, "Oh, my goodness." Um, oh, can you hear me? I hope you can hear me now, Cynthia. All right. Can anyone confirm if you can hear me?
I can hear
I
you.
can hear you.
Okay, great. So Cynthia, maybe you can check your audio settings or log off and log back on since it seems other people can hear me. So back to my story, I'm on the sidelines of a dinner event right now, and there's a woman who was part of my challenge in November. I didn't even recognize her. She says, "You don't recognize me, do you?" I said, "Oh, I was part of your challenge." I was like, "Oh my goodness!" And she said the reason why she joined was because she saw me in June, having followed me on Facebook for years. She saw me in June and was like, "Oh my goodness!" And so the results do speak. But I was telling her beyond the physical, the mental clarity that I enjoy, the ability and the focus, the sharpness. I actually notice that when I speak now, in public events, this year has started off quite busy. I've spoken at different events. There's a calm, collected effectiveness that I think I've tapped into. And I think it's partly because of these practices. The self awareness that I built through this process, the nutrition that's enabling me to nourish my body well and giving me better mental clarity, and confidence because I look better, I feel better. In fact, the problem I'm having now is I've had to slowly rebuild my wardrobe because nothing was really fitting anymore. And that's a good problem to have. So I really want to encourage you. I don't know what your goals are. What was driving me to do this was I wanted to be off of those medications. All of those medications. If you look at the research on the medications for hypertension and diabetes, and they have long-term side effects. I remember the medications I was on, you know, made me even want to eat more. Some of those medications gave me night sweats and headaches or muscle cramps. And I'm thankful to be medication free right now and not need any medication to function on a day to day basis. And then the weight loss and the clarity of skin and all these other things are extra benefits. But I do want you to see that this is more of a holistic coaching journey that does more than just help you get a fit body. One of my coaches from the last program, Paps, shared something that I love repeating. She said, "Our bodies are not ornaments; they're instruments." So yes, we're grateful when our bodies begin to look much better than they used to, but the purpose of it is that your body's an instrument to do what God's called you to do in the world. And I think there's no greater honor you give to the Lord than to take care of this body so that you can use it for much longer. And I really realized that I was self destructing. And I'm thankful for the turnaround, the insights that helped me to turn around. And I'm looking forward to sharing this with as many more women all around the world as possible. So help me God. All right. So let me check the chat box again and see if there are any other questions or comments. All right. Yes, I can. I don't know. Oh, about hearing me, I suppose. Um, any other comments or questions? So just a reminder, the next 52-day challenge starts on January 20th. It will run until March 13th. The price per person is the equivalent of 100 US dollars. In Ghana cities, it's 1,500 cities. And when you receive the registration form, we've broken it down into cities and um, Kenya shillings as well, because we had quite a number of people from Kenya do the program. And when you sign up, we'll send you payment information. So you'll get set up with that. As a follow-up to tonight's session for registering, we'll send you emails with all of that. If you feel convinced to try this out, I would be honored to journey with you. And if not, look, I pray that whatever drew you here, that God will send you to the source of your solution. Because whether you work with me or not is beside the point. I really believe that God wants to raise a generation of transformational leaders, and you must be one of them. And in order to ensure that you can do the thing that God's called you to do, you need to be well. So if you are feeling like you're really in need of a reset, to restore the vitality and the vigor, the energy, and to just right size your body and to recommit to your goals, I would be honored to work with you as your coach. All right. So let me check the chat box again. See, no other. Do you have any questions or even reactions to what I've said? Is this resonating? Um, if you'd like to speak, please use the raise hand function or chat to me in the chat box. I'd love to know how this is sounding to you all on the call tonight. All right. Can I be heard? Can people hear me? I just want to make sure people can hear me as well.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, People
Hi,
are mysteriously quiet, so please go ahead.
Hi, Ella. I just wanted to say, well, I've followed you and I saw you on Facebook, and I think after your first challenge, and I was like, wow, I want to know what she's done because that
Oh
look
my,
amazing.
thank
But
you.
yeah, everything you said is like music to my ears. Literally, I've also got health issues that I really want to deal with. I'm at the point of where I'm moving up in my career. In fact, on the 20th, I start my new job.
Oh,
So
congratulations.
and it's a senior role, and but at the same time too, I'm actually in Ghana. I'm on holiday, but I'm
Mm,
all for a reason because I at the end of the year I felt quite burnt out. In fact, I'll probably say I
mm,
was burnt out. I had to take some time off work, which wasn't great because I was leaving a job in order to start a new job in January, and I'm just
mm,
a bit worried about. I need to be energized. I really need to start thinking about my nutrition, how
mm,
I see my relationship with myself, how I see myself, how I interact with others, my family members, my husband. And
mm,
really, I took the time to come out just to kind of have a reset and to sit down and think, what do I need to do? And then I saw your program being advertised, and I said, this is exactly what I need. So I am very
mm,
excited.
mm,
I mean, you've convinced me. I'm definitely signing up to it. And I probably have done for probably most people on the program. I have done every diet under the sun. You name it, I've done it. But I do think it is the holisticness that I need to think about. I
mm,
can stop myself from I can eat properly. I know what I need to do, but then when it comes down to the relationship, the being committed, why am I so tired? Why I'm not getting enough sleep? I'm certainly not drinking enough water. I've realized since I've come out here and it's quite hot, I'm drinking a lot more.
mm,
Like I'm definitely not drinking this amount when I'm in the UK. No wonder I'm not sleeping well. No wonder I'm always feeling sick. And honestly, this sounds really good. And thank you so much for sharing your story and being vulnerable. For some of us who follow you and watch you, it seems like you've got everything going for you. You've got your
mm,
career, your platform, but it is nice to be reassured that we're not alone. That actually, underneath everything that you're doing, fantastic wise in terms of your career, there are things that you've been challenged to work on, and I think that's really good. And I think if we had more stories of that, that would be fantastic. So thank you so much. And I look forward to joining this program.
mm. Thank you so much, Sharon. It's so good to just get this feedback from you. And I it's not been rosy. I remember when I had the idea to do the challenge, I was on a call with my executive coach and I told her, I am feeling like an imposter here. Like I've gone through this process and I just feel like God's asking me to invite other women and teach them what he essentially taught me. But I'm not a wellness coach. I'm not, and I was thinking, and my executive coach said, get your big butt out of the way and just do it. Like the right people, whoever needs this, will come because if this is really of God, you have a moral obligation to share it and let whoever needs it come. So I get reassured when I hear stories like yours, Sharon, because I won't lie. There has been a journey behind this of even second guessing whether I should do this, whether I should be public about my challenges, whether I should even tell people that I was dealing with all this. Because the truth is, we all love to be perceived well, to be, thought of as okay and high and mighty. But the truth is, so many of us are suited up and powdered up and we look good, but we're carrying burdens that need to be dealt with. So I'm so glad you took time for yourself, Sharon. I applaud you for that. And I wish you all God's best in this new professional chapter. And I pray that I can be a blessing and a catalyst to you on this journey. Because if you get your mind, your body, and spirit in alignment and you're in that type of flow, you'll be unstoppable. So God bless you. Yeah. I think I saw another hand up. Let me see. Um, I don't know what the name is, but it says EUB. Do
Eugenia.
Eugenia. Oh, Eugenia. Okay,
Hello,
great. Please
Yawa.
unmute and share. Yes.
Hi, Yawa. Happy New Year.
Many happy
And you're
returns.
looking good. Good to see
Thank you.
you.
Good to see you as well.
Awesome. I just wanted to also share my experience, if it's worth any 2 cents. One of my
Absolutely.
favorite times on this challenge was the E aspect, the energy, where
Mm,
you asked the energy vampires. So that was a really good check for me. It brought a lot of awareness and beginning to say no to a lot of things, even the good things, was a bit
mm,
hard, and saying no to family was a bit hard. But I think with time we got used to each other.
mm,
For me as well, getting used to saying no, and for them accepting the no and making the adjustments, it's been really good. So now,
mm,
for example, I realized, and then you made us do this, and is it energy fast, where you measure when you are at your highest peak and you do the most important work. And I realized that my mind is alert early in the morning up till 11, and then it goes down till, let's say, 7 p.m., and it comes back up again weirdly. And
mhm,
so that's how I've arranged myself. So the must do's I do in the morning, the can do, the things that get me, so I have to drive out, I have to go to see this person, I do it in the afternoon. It doesn't need much of my brain. And then the evening, I do a lot of learning. I realize I have reception for learning in the evenings. And so
mm,
that's how I've arranged my time. So all my classes or learnings I need to do are in the evening, and the morning is scheduled for work, real work. So I make sure I do, and that has really, really helped me
mm.
in my planning, because I do plan a lot, but it was all scattered. But now it's in blocks, and it's really helped me. So it's been one of my favorite parts of this. If not for anything, it's been a blessing to me. So thank you so, so much.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate you sharing, Eugenia, because I hope that gives people a sense of both the practicality and the theoretical basis of the program. Because, doing things like the energy audit informs you with data that you can help use. You can use that data rather to structure your day in a way that enables you to be more productive. And the truth is, part of what we do in energy is also the exercise of deleting, deferring, and delegating. That's the
Yes.
3D strategy that sometimes we have to tell the truth to ourselves that this stuff that I'm doing right here can actually be someone else's problem. This thing that I'm doing, it's good, but not now. So I'll defer it. Or this thing that I'm doing, I actually need to delete it. And I think that exercise, when it's done with honesty, is in itself an energy giver because it enables you to just have a relief. And we start with relationship and we go to energy because sometimes you will realize once you've assessed the relationship piece that there are some people that you spend too much time with that de-energize you. You need to set boundaries around yourself to protect, the way you're able to move forward. So, and I applaud you, Eugenia, for doing that. I really love, as 2024 was rounding up, the energy I saw around you as you pursued your goals. You released your book, and it's just been amazing to see your rise, especially after going through this journey together. So God bless you for sharing. I really appreciate you sharing. Um, Anyone else care to
Hi,
share?
Yawa.
Oh, hi, Cynthia. Good to see you. Another Renew Challenger. Yes,
Yeah, it's been 6 months. I joined around June when for the
right.
first challenge.
Yes.
It's been very, very inspiring. I've had people comment, "Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing?" And I've said, "Come join me." So when I got this information, I posted to a lot of friends. And I'm sure you'll be having a lot of people on the next journey. But
Mm,
for me, health-wise, it's been very good for me. My numbers, my stats, as you always encourage us to go and see our doctor before we get on the challenge, it's been very good. All that I saw and I'm seeing has been very good. And I just
mm,
want to encourage any new person on this call that you will never regret it. It's not only about the weight loss, but that mental clarity. And I was going through a serious bereavement challenge, but it's been very helpful. I'm not there yet, so I'm hopeful to join the next challenge because my targets I haven't gotten to my targets yet. Thank you very much and a happy new year to you.
Oh, Happy New Year to you as well. Thank you so much for sharing, Cynthia. I tell you, it's encouraging me when someone does the program, gets result, it still comes back because that tells me that they it was too good. And Cynthia, I'm proud of you because I recall, the burden of grief that you were carrying when you joined the program and how this coaching journey transformed you and is still transforming you. So I just really want to honor you for your commitment
Thank you.
to personal development in spite of deep personal loss. It takes something to be so committed to your future in spite of pain. And I really respect you for that, Cynthia. And I just really want to honor you for sharing your story with us tonight as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, God bless you. Anyone else care to share? If you have questions, if you've got comments, or you need clarifications on anything, I'd be happy to answer. I see someone in the chat box. A chat box is asking about the recording. Yes, we can share the recording of this session. If you've missed more than half of it, you've missed a lot. But just a quick recap for your benefit, the next 52-day challenge starts on January 20th and it will run for 52 days. So it will end, I believe, on March 13th, if I'm not mistaken. And then we will encourage you to participate. You can join it from anywhere in the world. The program is structured in such a way that all of the live sessions are recorded. All members will be put in a private WhatsApp group and all of the information will be shared there and via email. So you won't miss anything. And if you can't join the live sessions, you can always catch up with the recordings. In fact, those in the program that just ended are still watching the recordings because if you miss something because of busyness or work schedules or other commitments, I give continued access for an additional 90 days so that you can get caught up and continue to practice all that we learned together. Another feature of the program is accountability. So we pair every member with another member so that you have someone to call and to share the journey with. Hopefully, that will enable you to be more accountable and to be more likely to reach your targets as well. And I love what Cynthia highlighted. Like, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist or wellness, certified by anyone. I'm a person with a testimony who's sharing it. So I recommend it to everyone before, during, after the Renew Challenge to consult your health professional. Let this be a data-driven process for you. So, during the challenge, I was even sharing my labs so that people see where I am. Like, look, I went to the doctor today for a checkup just to make sure my cholesterol is still under control, just to make sure my blood pressure and my other things are under control because it's a journey and you want to be informed. And if you have a medical diagnosis, you want to consult your doctor before you make any rapid or drastic change. So I encourage you to understand that by participating in the challenge, I'm not a replacement for your doctor. I'm actually an advocate for your doctor, that you have someone who sees your medical history, assess you, and to guide you on the choices that you make throughout the challenge so that you don't inadvertently cause more problems for yourself. All right. Um, Let me see any other messages in the chat box. Oh, someone is asking, is there a flyer to share within our networks? My graphics person is working on one for me. So hopefully I can share a flyer tomorrow. So thank you for that question because people keep asking me for that. This for me is new. So yeah, I'm learning as we go along, but everyone keeps asking me for flyers. So I reached out to my graphics person today to design something for me. So please watch this space. And then my daughter actually put together she has some videos of me working out that she put together into a quick reel. So I'll post the reel tomorrow. Tell me how ridiculous or fun it looks. But yeah, I'm having fun learning with this journey as well because I'm sitting here thinking, wow, never did I think I would be here advertising a wellness program. I was never the picture of wellness or health, but God does what he does, and it's marvelous in our eyes, isn't it? So please watch this space. If you registered for this call, I have your email, so we'll email you the link to the registration form and email you the flyers and other resources. Please share it with people in your networks. It's always fun when you take this journey together. In fact, in our last challenge, a dear friend of mine came along with another friend of theirs, so they did it together. And so we have a mutual friend that saw them recently and said, "Oh my God, you two look good. What are you doing?" She said, "Oh, go and ask Yawa." So it's been amazing the number of people that this journey is influencing. So please feel free to share it widely. As for those who are wondering, is it just for women? Yes, at this time it's just for women. We get very deep, we get very personal, and then when we're exercising, we're jumping up and down on Zoom together, seeing everything shake and wiggle. So I think for now, I want to keep the community as an all women community. So professional women from all over the world can feel safe and feel comfortable to share what's really going on and to really dig deep into this process. Because for me, it's healing, it's deliverance, it's information, it's coaching, it's just total life transformation. And I do hold the space as a sacred trust. And I want to make sure, everyone who's like me will find it a conducive space as well. So right now it's just for women. I do know there are a lot of men who need help, who are also dealing with some of these same health issues, but I do not currently feel led to open it out or open it up to men. So for now, it's just for women. Okay, let me see. All right, I see a thank you. Anyone else with questions or comments uh, care to share any comment or reaction to tonight's session? Tomorrow, I'll be doing a deep dive on the third pillar of the Renew program, which is nutrition. So I'm going to share with you some of the insights that I learned, some of the nutritional guidance that we'll have, and some of what other participants in the program have noticed. And I'm going to read out some of the written feedback that I received. There is a woman, let me not spoil it. Join me tomorrow for the deep dive on nutrition. There's just so much that gives me joy as I look back on the experiences of the 78 women from 8 different countries around the world who journeyed with me last year. And this year, I really want to reach 1,000 women. So I don't know how this will happen, but I feel excited to continue to expand the the initiative and to reach more women in different places who can do this program from the comfort of their homes and be connected to other women who are like-minded in wanting to transform their bodies, transform their health, transform their their thinking so that they can be more effective at doing what God's called them to do in the world. I believe that this is essentially you know, what gives me joy about the Renew program. It's not just what you end up looking like, it's what comes out of you as a result of your transformation. I think I'm influencing way more at a higher level, more excellently, and reaching more people in different countries because of this one shift that I made. So imagine the shift for you. What could emerge out of that? Who could be impacted? Who is on the other side of you saying yes to the purpose God has for you? So that's what excites me. You know, there's a Bible scripture that says that Jesus Christ, for the joy that was set before him, he endured the cross. So for me, that's the joy that's set before me. Women who are unleashed, unlocked, unblocked, transformed, and released to transform others in whatever way God gives them the grace. So for me, that's what keeps me ticking about this. And this is why I'm so all in on making sure that the Renew Challenge continues to reach more women. And you can help by thinking about who in your community needs this. I think this program is ideal for professional women, especially women that are busy and in leadership, who need discretion, who need an environment that is structured but also flexible enough that they can learn at their own pace, guided enough that they know what to do when they're on their own, but flexible enough that they can make it their own. And if you feel, you know, this is for you, I'm excited to work with you. But I also encourage you to think about other women in your network for whom this could be a blessing, and you can share the information. I'll share the link to the application form as well as the flyers tomorrow. And I look forward to welcoming as many of you as possible to the program. I see we're at time, so I want to round up tonight. With your permission, I'd love to pray for you, if that's okay. Whether you work with me or not, one of the most loving things I do for people is to pray for them, because I don't know about you, but there's so many X factors in the world. I've seen very learned people that are not progressing. I've seen people, you know, who were least likely progress. And I believe that that's because of God's grace. So I just want to say, Lord, in Jesus' name, I thank you for the life of everyone who's listened to me tonight, who's in this place where they feel ready for transformation, those who feel like they are made for more, and just know that this is one hurdle that they need to get over to restore themselves to a place of better health, vibrancy, and vitality. I pray for wisdom, and I pray for grace. I pray for financial resources. I pray that whatever is necessary to enable them embark upon the journey, that you will provide it. And Lord, even if they don't need me, may you lead them to who they need. That, Lord, at the end of the day, because they came here and heard me pray for them, that goodness and mercy will follow them, that everything they need will be provided to them, and that, Lord, everything that is lying dormant in their lives will come alive again. Every dead hope, every dead dream, every dead expectation, may they come alive again. Your word says that there's hope for a tree, that even if it's cut off at its root, that at the scent of water, it will come alive again. May my voice be the scent of water tonight that makes hopes and dreams come alive again. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you again for joining me. It means a lot that you spent this hour with me. I pray that whatever your decision is, that if you will join us, I will look forward to seeing you on January 20th. But if not, I pray that whatever it is you need to get to where God needs you to go, that God will help you find it in Jesus' name. Have a wonderful rest of your evening and Happy New Year. I pray that this year will be your best in Jesus' name. I love you all. Bye. Good night.
Good night.
Good
Mwah.
night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.